Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am finally making my pantry organization video, and I am just so excited to share this with you guys because as you can tell, my pantry seriously was a complete disaster. Like, no exaggeration, it looked horrible. And I was so excited to finally get this project done, and I was honestly very overwhelmed with the idea of starting this just because I've never really organized anything like this before. So this was definitely a project. Okay, so the first order of business was for me to just take everything out of my pantry, obviously, and just get it all on my counter so I could see like what exactly I was working with and just kind of like sort things out before I started to actually organize. And while I was doing this, I also went ahead and like looked for expired things, just things that had been sitting in there for a while that we weren't using or we didn't need anymore. So I was throwing some of that stuff out as well. And this was the final product after I took everything out, and honestly it looked so much better just with taking the food out, but I was starting to get a little bit overwhelmed just seeing everything scattered out onto my counters like this, and ignore my dirty dishes in the sink. Now the next thing that I needed to do was to clean out the bottom of the pantry, and this was the part that I was absolutely dreading because the floor of our pantry was absolutely disgusting. There's just so many like crumbs and just things just like gathered over time, and this is where we keep all of our like grocery bags and reusable bags, and there's like a box of random things that Johnny brought home from work that they didn't need anymore, so it's just like cans of juice and stuff that we seriously never use, but it's just been sitting in the bottom of our pantry. So there's just a lot of random old crap sitting at the bottom, and I was dreading doing this, but I am so glad that I did because it needed to be done and it was disgusting. Now that I have everything out of the pantry, I'm just going in and sweeping all of the garbage and food and crumbs off of the floor. And after I'm done sweeping up the floor, I'm also going to mop as well. So while the floor was drying in the pantry, I just went ahead and washed all of the containers I planned on using to organize the pantry. And if you guys are interested in where exactly I got every one of these containers, I do have an organizational haul video that I made like, I want to say a couple months ago. So I'll go ahead and leave a link for that in the description box, and I'll link it in the cards here in the video. But everything that I got was either from Dollar Tree, Walmart, or IKEA. Now I'm just going back into the pantry really quick with just some regular Lysol and a sponge and a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser just to get all of like the food and crud that has been built up over time off of the baseboards and the floor and the walls. And we don't have actual paint on the walls in our pantry, so that's why it looks like half the paint is coming off when I'm scrubbing the walls. Now I'm just going into the pantry and kind of trying to figure out how I want to organize these bins and how I want to put the food in them. And this part honestly really kind of stressed me out because I just felt like I had this idea in my head of what I wanted it to look like, but for some reason, like, my pantry doesn't look a lot like the inspiration that I pulled from like Pinterest and things like that. So I was just trying my best to figure out how I wanted to organize things in a way that looked nice and was also practical for the way that we use our pantry. So now I'm just starting to put food into containers and things like that. And I kind of did things a little differently than I've seen other people do them. Like, I've seen people take the containers out of the pantry and put food in them like I'm doing with these cookies. But I decided about like 2 seconds into it that I wanted to try and organize the food with the containers in the pantry just because it made more sense in my head to do it this way. So I did the bulk of my organizing like this, and I tried to organize things just by like category. So for instance, this main bin that I'm working on right now was a breakfast bin, and then I have a pasta bin, and so on and so forth. And another thing that I do want to do eventually is add labels to these bins, and I think I'm going to look on Amazon for some cute like label stickers to add on the outside of these.
Happy I got freed. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I won't let the door hit when I leave. Shoulda known by your rap sheet that you weren't nice, but now I am telling you I'm going to smile. But I would never, ever, ever would have believed them, no reason. Sometimes the truth is hard to see, but now the never, ever, ever seemed to be over. I saw her, so I'm happy I got freed. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I won't let the door hit when I leave. I guess that I was born beneath a very lucky star, and in a week or two I won't remember who you are. Man down, he ran out of luck, and now it's my time. Ain't no looking back, I'm on the right track. Here she goes. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I won't let the door hit when I leave. I guess that I was born beneath a very lucky star, and in a week or two I won't remember.
Okay, so this was the finished product, and this was actually filmed the next day after we went grocery shopping, so I did end up reorganizing and adding a couple of bins just to accommodate the extra food we had in our pantry, but I am very happy with the way this turned out. And I also love this IKEA bag saver. I think it was like $2 or $3, which is super affordable, and it's just a much better way to store your extra grocery bags if you're somebody that saves them. But I just wanted to share this video with you guys to show you that it doesn't have to be crazy expensive or take a ton of time to reorganize and declutter your spaces. So I hope this video gave you guys some motivation, and if you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.